guys. I have a story to read for you today. I miss seeing you in school, but I thought I could still read you a story. So this story is called The Tortoise and the Hare. It's a story about a tortoise, another name for turtle, and a hare, which is another name for a rabbit. So it's The Tortoise and the Hare. This story is a really old story. Your parents may have heard it growing up, your grandparents may have heard it growing up, and you might have heard this story before. So you might already know what's going to happen in the story. Here we go. One day, a hare was racing through the forest. He spun around and ran backwards. Even backwards, I'm still the fastest fellow around, he thought. Suddenly, the hare tripped. Plop! He fell right over a tortoise who was slowly making his way along the path. "Tortoise, you crazy slowpoke," he grumbled. "You're so slow. I wonder why you even try to go anywhere." Oh, that's doing very nice. "I may be slow, but I never give up, and I always get where I'm going," replied the tortoise. "That's a laugh. I could turn around, go home, and still end up where you're going before you even got halfway there," bragged the hare. "If we had a race, I bet I could beat you," the tortoise challenged him. What do you think? Think the tortoise could beat the hare? Soon, they're going to have a race. Soon the day of the big race arrived. The forest was buzzing with excitement. The animals were already cheering for their favorite contender. Some had signs that said "Hare Power." Others had signs saying, "Go, tortoise, go." At last the hare and the tortoise took their positions at the starting line. "On your mark, get set, go," shouted out the wolf. The hare shot off from the starting line. When the dust cleared, the tortoise was barely 2 steps ahead of where they had begun. The hare was so far ahead, he thought to himself, "Why should I waste my energy running? I'll just walk." Soon he got bored of walking, and he went back along the path to see how far the tortoise had come. There's the tortoise. The hare found the tortoise barely 1/4 of the way through the race. He hopped up to the tortoise, then ran in a circle around him. He ran around and around him, singing, "You'll never win this race! Ha, 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 ha." Bored of teasing the tortoise, the hare scampered off towards the finish line. As the hare neared the end, he stopped and turned to the crowd. "I could finish this race right now," said the hare. "Instead, I'm going to take a nap here, near the finish line. Then when the tortoise gets close, I'll fly right past him. Winning will be more enjoyable when the old slowpoke sees me do it," boasted the hare. He yawned, curled up, and fell asleep. The sun began to fall. Slowly but surely, the tortoise made his way toward the finish line. It seemed as though the race might never end. Finally, he came up over the last hill. All of a sudden, all of the animals gathered at the finish line. They dared not say a word. They just stared in disbelief as the tortoise crept past the sleeping hare. He's still asleep. As the tortoise approached the finish line, the bunny holding the Hare Power sign fainted and fell down with a loud thud. The hare woke up, startled by the thud, and saw the tortoise approaching the finish line. The hare scrambled to his feet. He couldn't let a slowpoke like the tortoise beat him in a race. There he is. What do you think? The hare zoomed towards the tortoise. He may have been the fastest fellow around, but the tortoise had kept going and not given up. If only the hare had not taken a nap. Even though he ran as fast as he could, the tortoise still crossed the finish line first. The tortoise had won the race. Did that surprise you? Cheers rang through the forest as everyone ran to congratulate the tortoise. All gathered around to hear the tortoise's acceptance speech. Slowly the tortoise climbed up to the podium. He stared out over the crowd and said, "It doesn't matter how slow or fast you are, as long as you do your best." The end. There's the hare. Oh, he didn't make it. So what do you think of that story? That story has a little bit of a lesson to it. If you can think about what the lesson might be that we could learn from the tortoise and the hare, you can type it to me in the comments, and then we can have a discussion about it together. So, hope you've had a great Monday. I've missed seeing you, but I look forward to seeing you some more on Google Classroom. Bye.